Bernie Sanders lit into Donald Trump on the floor of the Senate and held him accountable.
Senator Enzi mentioned, and of course he's right, that within a couple of weeks we are going to have a new president. Donald Trump will be inaugurated as president. And I think it is interesting that we listen to what Donald Trump said during the campaign. The Democrats hear what he had to say during the campaign, what he campaigned on, and more importantly, Republicans listen and hear what their leader had to say about these issues. And this is what Donald Trump said, and he didn't say it once in the middle of the night. He didn't say it in an interview. This was a central part of his campaign. This is what he asked millions of elderly people and working class people to vote for him on. These are the principles that Donald Trump ran and won the presidency on. On May 7th, 2015, Donald Trump tweeted, quote, "I was the first and only potential GOP candidate to state there will be no cuts to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid." End of quote. On April 8th, 2015, Mr. Trump said, and I quote, "Every Republican wants to do a big number on Social Security." That's not Bernie Sanders talking. That is Donald Trump talking. "They want to do it on Medicare. They want to do it on Medicaid, and we can't do it. It's not fair to the people that have been paying in for years." End of quote. Not Bernie Sanders, Donald Trump, our soon-to-be president. On March 29th, 2016, Mr. Trump said, and I quote, "You know, Paul Ryan is the Republican Speaker of the House. You know, Paul wants to knock out Social Security, knock it down, way down. He wants to knock Medicare way down, and frankly, you're going to lose the election if you're going to do that. I am not going to cut it, and I'm not going to raise ages, and I'm not going to do all of the things they want to do. But they want to really cut it, and they want to cut it very substantially, the Republicans, and I'm going to do that." End of quote. What Mr. Trump said was exactly right. Here are the day. This is the day. They want to cut Social Security. They want to cut Medicare. They want to cut Medicaid. Mr. Trump was right, and millions of people voted for him on the belief that he would keep his word.
That is how you do effective opposition against Donald Trump. So this is something the establishment Democrats will never figure this out because the establishment Democrats don't really care about the policy issues. In fact, Obama proposed cuts to Medicare and Social Security as part of a grand bargain. It was the Tea Party Republicans who were like, "No, we want more cuts." So they blocked it. So we lucked out because of the obstruction of insane Tea Party Republicans. But the Democrats, since they don't care about the policy substance, they can't attack Trump like this because they don't give a shit about the outcome of the actual policy issues. So that's why the establishment Democrats are going, "Russia, Russia, 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 Russia. Look out. Vlad is about to invade West Virginia." So they just, at the DNC, they just picked a war room to fight Trump. And guess who's in charge? Former Hillary Clinton staffers. So the people who couldn't beat Trump are now in charge of beating Trump. Genius, really. Well, here's Bernie showing you how it's done. Now, you can't even, in establishment Democratic circles, you can't say that Trump was right about anything. So they'd look at Bernie and be like, "Oh, how dare you say that?" But he's using his own words against him, you idiots. He's saying, "Hey, look, you said repeatedly, I'm not going to cut Medicare. I'm not going to cut Social Security. The Republicans are wrong on this. I'm going to defend it. I'm not going to cut it. I'm not going to privatize it. I'm going to protect it. I'm not going to raise the age. I'm not going to do anything. We're going to protect it." So now Bernie's going out there saying, "Okay, dipshit, here's what you said." And then he goes on in that clip and he says, "Hey, you can come out there and say, I lied. Go ahead. If you want to cut it, you want to reform it, fine. Come out there and say, hey, to the American people, I lied to you. I'm a liar. That's what I am. So either you protect it or you're a liar. Take your pick. This is what he goes on to say to Trump. No, this is exactly how you fight Trump. You use his words against him. You say, hey, look, I have your words. These aren't my words. These are your words right here. So, okay, do what you said. Do what you said. That's simple. Do what you said. You said you're going to do it? Do it. Just do it. That's how you do it. And this pushes him in a corner, and this exposes him for the gigantic hypocrite that he is. And this is why, I'm going to say it because it's likely true, Bernie would have won. I love how it's blowing up so much on the internet that it's like this meme in a million ways. There was remember on, I think it was New Year's, people changed the Hollywood sign to Hollyweed. Somebody tweeted it like, oh, look, they changed the Hollywood sign, and it said like Bernie would have won. I love them. I love the fucking memes. There was one like, to all my Jewish friends, Happy Hanukkah. All my Christian friends, Merry Christmas. To all my Democratic Socialist friends, Bernie would have won. God, all that's so true. Now, again, nobody knows that we don't have a fucking crystal ball, but all the evidence and the data and the poll numbers indicates that that is true, and even for demographic reasons, that's true, because Hillary lost because of the angry white voter in the Rust Belt in what's supposed to be the Democratic firewall. Those are the voters who Bernie got made fun of because they said, oh, you have so many of them. Your voters are so white and angry that, that's not enough to win. Those are the exact people who lost Hillary the election. So it looks like it would have been a fucking landslide in Bernie Sanders' direction. But guys, this is why. Because he's a guy who actually cares about the policy substance. You're not going to get an argument from Bernie Sanders that smells hacky and partisan. You're just not going to get it. Because the reason why he's doing these things is he actually cares about creating a democratic socialist vision for the U.S. So in other words, he cares about creating a United States that's more of a modern country, that's more like Denmark and Norway and Iceland and Sweden, that has universal health care, that has free education, that it stops all of our unnecessary wars. Since he actually cares about that vision and he has a consistent philosophy, when he argues for that philosophy against charlatans and partisan hacks and narcissist buffoons, he comes across as sincere and genuine because he is. So to him, this is Bernie Sanders. This is a cat playing with fucking yarn. He's just slapping a ball around or some shit. Like, this is nothing for him. This is, I could easily rip Trump up and then, go have the early bird special because I'm 1,000 years old. I love you, Bernie. I'm just saying. So you go get him, Bernie. And these are the arguments that we need to make against Trump. These are poignant, substantive arguments that land. Anybody can understand that, man. Anybody can understand Trump said X. I will not cut it. Now the Republicans are saying, let's cut it. So what are you going to do, Trump? That ain't hard to follow. That's not hard to follow. That directly affects people's lives. Social Security, Medicare, that directly affects people in the country. Directly affects them and their wallet. So Bernie's saying, I'm going to fight for you. Let's hold him responsible, make sure he does it. The establishment Democrats would join you in the fight, Bernie, but they're too busy screaming at pine cones about Russia.